Thanks for joining us. I'm Randall Bennett. It's been a while since Microsoft has had to be on the defensive against ads from Apple, but now they're switching things up and actually going on the offensive, pointing out that the iPod will cost a lot of money if you bought every track to fill up the device. With the new Zune rumored to be coming out around next month, there's a lot of rumors floating around about that. Microsoft seems to be playing a little bit on the offense and trying to get it into people's heads that subscription music at $15 a month might be the way to go instead of paying per track. Lots of companies have tried this, but why hasn't it worked? Let's talk to two experts. We have Ross Rubin from the NPD Group. Ross, thanks for being with us. Also, we have Alfredo Padilla from Review.com. Alfredo, thanks for being with us as well.
No problem, Randall.
So this is obviously not the first time that subscription music has been around for a while. Napster tried to do the same thing in 2005, actually, with a Super Bowl ad. You know, they had this sign that held up that said $15 per month for unlimited music. Ross, why do you think people don't really like the idea of subscription music, or is it just that they don't know about it?
Well, it is certainly a different model than consumers have been accustomed to. When Apple launched the iTunes Store, they really tapped into a familiar way of acquiring music, which was buying it and owning it insofar as digital files enabled that. And this is a model that's really based on access, not ownership. It does resonate more with younger consumers, but particularly in this economy, consumers are wary of recurring fees and the notion that they are renting the music. So it is a new model.
It kind of seems a little bit scary. Maybe it's not such a, I mean, it doesn't seem like as much of a value maybe for some people. Alfredo, what's your take? Do you think people, do you use subscription music at all, or do you stick to buying per track?
You know, a couple years ago, I had a subscription to Rhapsody, which I really enjoyed. But when I moved to the Mac, since Apple doesn't offer it via iTunes, I don't use it anymore. If Apple did offer it through iTunes, I would jump on it. But I don't think it's necessarily the deal that Microsoft makes it out to be in this ad. I did a little bit of math. Figure a 20-year-old picks up a subscription and wants to own the music, you know, for the rest of their life. It'll end up costing them close to $11,000 to keep on paying that subscription and hold on to the music till they're about 80. You know, that's a lot of money, and that music is covered with DRM. You can't use it the way you want to. You can't move it around devices very easily. I think it makes more sense to people to pay a fee up front and know they can own the song and do whatever they want with it. I think it's a nice complement to buying music, but I don't think it replaces it.
Ross, what's your take? Do you think people are scared of this DRM, or do you think that does that even enter their mind in your view?
It really hasn't been that much of an issue in the past. Two of the fallacies of the ad, though, are when consumers buy a digital music player, are they really concerned with filling it up? You know, that doesn't really seem to be an explicit goal, even of consumers who buy high-capacity digital media players. And the other thing that's really interesting is that Microsoft talks about this as an alternative to filling up your iPod. They never mentioned the Zune in the commercial. And of course, you know, Zune Pass won't work with the iPod. You would have to switch from the iPod to the Zune in order to take advantage of this. Now, to Microsoft's credit, they are offering 10 free downloads per month when you sign up for Zune Pass. And while that may add value to the overall offering, it does confuse the messaging a little. If it's about access, then why do I need these downloads?
It's kind of funny, you know, that legal print ad from Apple kind of makes me think of this whole situation. There's got to be some legal copy at the bottom of that Microsoft has to deal with. Let's switch gears for a sec. Microsoft, speaking of them, they've been rumored to be raising funding for maybe going on a little bit of a spending spree. We have a link in the show notes so you can check out the full story. But this got us thinking, you know, right now it's the recession. Companies are going to be at a relatively low valuation, so there'll be, you know, a lot of people looking to buy other companies. Alfredo, are there any companies where you're looking out and you say, you know, if I was someone, I would want to have this company because it's really going to be successful and I think it's an interesting idea?
You know, one company that's kind of stood out to me lately is in the social networking space, FriendFeed. You know, everybody talks about Twitter and Facebook, but frankly, I've seen Facebook rip off FriendFeed at every turn. They seem to have a lot of great ideas about ways to bring together your social media into one place and then share it out to the places that you want it to be. So that's an interesting company.
What about you, Ross? Is there anything where friend feed, I keep hearing about this from lots of different people. I haven't found a lot of utility in it myself. Are there any companies like this where you think they're a little bit under the radar that people should know about?
Well, first, I think FriendFeed would be an interesting fit for Microsoft because it is very much in keeping with their strategy of entering a market and trying to out-feature other competitors. And compared to something like Twitter or Facebook, FriendFeed is definitely more of a power user type of site that may forego something on the learning curve for benefits like threaded conversations. On the hardware space, one of the products that debuted this year that looks very interesting is from a company called Avok, and the product is View. It is a very low-cost home surveillance system that uses a proprietary mesh network, which could be leveraged for a lot of things.
That sounds really interesting. So this company is a relatively independent company. I've never even heard of them before.
Yeah, they have developed a proprietary mesh technology. It's similar to what Sonos has done in some ways, but it's so low power that they claim you can have their video cameras sticking to a wall for a year of normal use and not have to recharge them.
Wow, that's really interesting. Do they have a product out right now, or is that still something that's being developed?
I believe they're starting to enter beta very soon.
Wow, that's really interesting stuff. We'll have a link for that in the show notes for sure. That's really, I love having this show because we can hear about such interesting things. Guys, we're out of time, so we're gonna have to leave it there. Ross Rubin from the MPD Group, thanks for being with us as always, and Alfredo Padilla from review.com, thanks for being with us. We have all links to their sites and all the information we talked about in today's show at techv.com. And as always, we're on iTunes and YouTube and a lot of other places. So subscribe to us and keep watching us. See you later.